Dear members, we now start the panel discussion on participation of fintech companies with broking fraternity. The panel discussion will be moderated by the Rohit, CEO of Northeast Broking. I request Mr. Rohit to occupy the stage. I request Mr. Paresh of PCS Securities to present a bouquet of flowers to Mr. Rohit. I now request Mr. Namashivaya of Gen Securities to felicitate Mr. Rohit with a shawl. Mr. Rohit Lokareddy is a CFA, FRM and a MBA in Finance and Operations from Indian School of Business ISB. He has previously worked as an analyst at John Hancock Asset Management and has handled $10 billion USD in investments. Currently, he is the CEO of Northeast Broking Services Limited. He is also the founder and director of Easy Finance, which is a retail-focused fintech lender. I now invite the first panelist. Already Kamlesha is there. Thank you, sir. Thank you for.
Thank you. You will have to introduce him. He also runs a fintech in the way you trade.
Oh.
That's part of many broking units. As I mentioned, that's the way we can grow. Yes. I think this would be interesting discussion.
I now invite our second panelist, Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, founder and CEO of Lotus Jew Wealth, to grace the dais. I request Mr. G. Brahmanandra of Balaji Equities to present a bouquet of flowers to Abhishek Banerjee. I now request Mr. Ramakant Inani of Inani Securities to felicitate Mr. Abhishek Banerjee with a shawl. Mr. Abhishek Banerjee is an undergraduate in computer science engineering, followed by an MBA from Rotterdam School of Management. He is also a chartered accountant. He is the founder and CEO of Lotus Jew. He has previously worked as a portfolio manager for a $180 billion USD sovereign pension asset manager company and worked for Franklin Templeton in their systematic strategies team. He has experience running multi-asset long-short hedge fund strategies, quantitative investment and fund selection. He is also a chartered alternative investment analyst. Thank you, sir. Thanks for our invitation. I now invite our third panelist, Mr. Debabrata Majumdar, MD and CEO of Engine Research, to grace the dais. Thank you. I now request Mr. Roy of Durga Prasad to present a bouquet of flowers to Debabrat Majumdar. I now request Mr. Murali Krishna of Kestrin Financial Services to felicitate Debabrat with a shawl.
I have no height problem. I will shop to the shop, I need a ladder.
This is all person.
Oh, sorry.
Hi sir. Mr. Debabrat Majumdar is a founding member and CEO of Engine Research. He holds a MBA from Institute of Technology and Management, Mumbai, and an advanced marketing program from Chartered Institute of Marketing, UK. He was also the head of wealth management at Philip Capital India private client group, and has held various roles in ICRA Online, Edelweiss AMC, Motilal Oswal, and IndusInd Bank. Debabrat has over 24 years of experience in the Indian financial services industry, including over 12 years managing pan-India businesses in banking, stockbroking, and IT consulting companies. Thank you, sir. Thank you for participating. I now invite our fourth panelist, Mr. Biplab Sinha, MD of Trade Labs Technologies, to share the dais. I now request Mr. Chetan Radhi of BN Radhi to present a bouquet of flowers to Biplab Sinha. I now request Mr. Jagadishwar Rao of Saket Consultants to felicitate Mr. Sir Jagadishwar Rao. Biplab with a shawl. Mr. Biplab Sinha is the Managing Director of Trade Labs Technologies Private Limited. He holds a MTech from IIT Kharagpur and in Computer Science and Engineering. Mr. Sinha has an intense understanding of stock market functionality, having profound programming knowledge of over 15 years, and has expertise in RMS and scaling the domain-specific applications. Above all, he has sound knowledge in developing and delivering the end-to-end software solution for the Indian and global trading community. Now I request Rohit to please start the session.
I think it's a great topic, it's apt for the time. Anmi talked a lot about this topic, and then we figured the most apt topic for this time is how fintechs can coordinate with broking community and broking community with fintechs as well. It's a large challenge, and those who have been able to step up to it have seen immense results. and a lot of people have fallen on the wayside in the same strategy. And so I think with the panel that we have today, we're going to get some good ideas on how to go ahead in the same respect. So I just request everyone to just give a short introduction about themselves and the fintech they're involved in, so we'll give a perspective of where everyone is coming from. Let's start with Mr. Sric, the founder of Lotus.
Hello, good evening everyone. My name is Abhishek and I'm the founder and CEO of Lotus U Wealth. I think there's some problem with the mic.
Yeah, there is some problem with the mic. Volume. Volume can be increased.
Is this better?
Yeah, somewhat better. If they can increase the volume.
So we are a
Yes,
registered
right.
RIA and we are also registered with US SSC to provide investment advice to clients based outside India as well. I have started programming when I was 10 years old. I was a really child when I started, and I've seen the application of technology in all things and including capital markets. I come from a very small town called Asansol in West Bengal, and it took me a long time to understand financial data and technology meet to create these kind of opportunities. What we do at Lotus Do is primarily use of artificial intelligence techniques to identify suitable investments in Indian and global markets and put that out as a model portfolio for retail clients as well as UHNIs to consume. And we have seen this is an excellent format for clients to stay active because they get new ideas to implement. And ultimately, if you look at the SEBI survey on why people come to capital markets, the primary reason, according to the SEBI survey itself, is for lifestyle improvement. So if they come to markets and do not generate wealth, the primary objective of them being in capital market does not get fulfilled. So I think that is one of the key areas that we as fintech focus on, how to grow the net worth of our clients and investors.
Thank you for that introduction. Mr. Kamlesh.
I think the other panel members have more experience. I being a managing director, so generally, and being a president, I am sitting here. But I do believe that the other panelists will do justice. We also are focused on technology from beginning, and that is how we could scale up our turnover. Last year we acquired two large tech-based companies. One is AlgoWire, and the second is U-Trade. U-Trade, many of the members must be aware. They are serving to about 40 members in India and about 10 to 12 clients abroad. And they bring all the solutions like Bleak software also does. So that is how our focus is. We focus continuously on the technology, and that is the way forward to achieve our goal. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. First of all, thanks to Anmi for inviting me and believing in me. So because we are very young, okay, we are just like a 9 years old company, and we have just started learning. So still sitting here, I can say that I'm one of the least experienced person here, and so we started this company with one vision that we wanted to change the way broking is operated, okay, and we saw a lot of fuss around in broking firms, mostly related to operations. So we tried, understood a lot of broking operations, and then we focused on resolving and making it less fuzzy. So today, if we are not very much into a lot of broking segments, but we are primarily focusing on reducing the operation cost of brokers. But the journey has shown us a lot of challenges as well, running company and those challenges. So yeah, that's all.
Thank you you so much. First want to thank Mr. Rao for inviting me when being from Bombay. Thank you for showing me the trust. Mr. Maheshwari, thank you so much, and Mr. Shah. Thanks to all the panelists, and just wanted to give a brief about my company. We three founder members, basically I'm from India, other two work with Morgan Stanley in London, and both of them are from the fund management background, and one from the FX side and from the equity side. We wanted to bring in very high-end research, analytics, software at a very affordable price to the market. We are market disruptors, and we have disrupted the market very well. We have taken over the monopoly of Morningstar. We are now the number one choice of all the advisors and institutions to advise their clients through our software. We are only benchmarking ourselves with Bloomberg, and we have institutions like, we started with L&T Wealth as our first customer, then we moved on to Edelweiss, IFL, Motilal Oswal. Now the AMCs are coming in one by one, like SBI Mutual Fund, DSC BlackRock, so on and so forth. We are present in 50 cities. Advisors all over the country are using my software to advise their clients. We are primarily B2B, but our B2C engagement is coming soon, where there will be links where all the IFAs or the brokers and the wealth managers, they can use that link to send the portfolios, latest portfolio holdings and analytics of their customers on their mobile phone. We started from zero. The current valuation of the company is 200 crores. This is the last round of retail participation. The next valuation that is coming is at 200 crores in the month of November. And that's the time when we will be inviting the institutions to participate. We have not brought any of the private equity VC capital companies into the company with us, and probably we will not in future. We wanted to make sure that all the shareholders who are participating in all the rounds have participated, make immense value towards making money. And we have a very strong advisory board which advises us and mentors us to the for the company to take it to the listing level. We have Mr. V. Ramesh, Mr. Sric, all from the AMC fraternity, who are ex-CEOs, and they're all guiding us to take this company to a $1 billion valuation. And so we believe that fintech, without fintech, there cannot be growth into any of the broking or the retail or the any kind of advisory segment going forward. And I'm sure we are doing a bit of justice to the industry. Thank you from my side.
Hello? Actually, I think that yeah. So I think we'll start with our first topic. We'll get into the current states of fintech in the market and where it is currently is important to see the path forward. And if you can give your views, we'll start with Abhishek on his views on what he thinks of it. And given the panels have different areas that they work in, I would request others to give their views as well.
Thanks, Ravi. So, first of all, what we understand as fintech and what's usually celebrated is payment tech, and based on that was the first leg where a company like ATM, company like PhonePe, they created this ecosystem where money could be transferred. Then there is this eKYC of onboarding. So far, most of the fintech that we have seen is consumer tech, which is enabling consumers to come on board. But what next, right? What is the next step after you have actually had a customer? Yeah, so what next is ultimately what the customers are there for, right? So once they understand that you can pay by phone, you can invest by phone, or you can open an account by phone, they want to. everything is checked. So we believe that the most valuable thing this group has is far more valuable than anybody of us sitting, which is the trust of your customers. You have that connect, you have that customer who has come back to you year after year. We might create some technology, we might make it a little more attractive, but you hold the most valuable asset, which is the last mile customer. It's a bit like, जिसको जाना था वो चला गया, अभी जो रहेगा वो नहीं जाएगा. Like, and this is it can only get better with the use of technology, just with the use of research and help. And I think it is just the trigger of how do you approach your customers for the conversation. We are still here, we are still next door to you. We understand your language, we understand your mode of operation, which could be an email or a phone call or somebody, to collect a check. We understand this is the way you want to do business and that's why you're still with me. This is what I have extra for you, right? This is what I can help you kind of continue that journey, but with the help of tech here and there. I think that is where we have to innovate, that is where we have to, bring the, the advantage that you have, bring it to the forefront. And that can only be done by, product innovation. In my personal experience, I have managed funds internationally. In my role as the portfolio manager for a sovereign fund, I had the opportunity to speak to the best fund managers in the world. Because I was managing sovereign money, I had a lot of money behind me. Everybody would open their door and say, okay, I'll tell you how I manage money. And no matter how smart you are, everybody was wrong always. So the point is that there has to be a sustainable way to be generating wealth, and sustainability is not stop printing paper, but it's all about making it repeatable. And what you have demonstrated as a group is repeatable business, repeatable client, and I think we should celebrate that.
Abhishek, I wanted to ask you, the market's very nascent, right? There are not many users in this space, and small case, even as successful as it is, it's just not big enough. It's not, revenues are not matching to where they should be. So even in the US, if you look at it, Wealthfront and Betterment are not as successful as something like Robinhood. Whereas there are apps that are more useful for the consumer, and these apps give you more entertainment. So how do you tackle that?
So Robinhood is down 80%, but I think the point is people look for new things, and easier access to market is always a good idea. Ultimately, it's a track record. Ultimately, it's what you've delivered in true form. That is what will remain. Everything else will fade out, right? And I think that is what we should remember. Everybody sitting here has decades of track record, and that is what is very important.
Thank you. Mr. Biplab, I think your space is very different, and I think a lot more relevant to a lot more people, used to it, seeing it every day. Right? So the way you track fintech is very different than, say, something like Abhishek would.
I do believe that people need new products, okay? And when we are exploring with
सर एक माइक को ऑफ कर दीजिए, दोनों एक पास में रखने जैसा हो.
okay. So Abhishek rightly told that people do need new products, and there's a famous example that why are cryptos gaining popularity? कुछ है ही नहीं इन्वेस्ट करने को तो क्रिप्टो में डाल दो, ठीक है? So but people have forgotten, and there must be multiple reasons कि stock market में जितना pace India दे सकता है, I have not seen that pace. Globally, if you see stock markets participation, India is far behind that, and trust me, we are like the third largest market in the world. So the potential is huge. I see the potential. I don't see that anywhere it's going down. Okay? In short term, it may go fluctuate, but in the long run, I do see that the proper use. This is very very common thing that we think that fintech is going to change it. accepted fintech is going to change it, but it's a human-machine coordination that always makes a difference. So fintechs or technology is always a supporter of your imagination. If you imagine something, if you want to do something, we can support you on that. So I seriously think that the markets do need fintech, but it is the people who are involved, it is your thought process that takes or drive it.
Okay, I just take a cue from Biplav and I just want to tell you one thing that okay, so
सर ये टेक्नोलॉजी आपके हाथ में नहीं है
इसको स्विच ऑफ कर दे
एक को स्विच ऑफ कर दीजिए
so is it
We can go into the dais and
हाँ उधर जाइए वो मैं
dais पे आ जाइए.
Please. No, he is comfortable. Is it? Yeah, because the set is there. It is picking.
Okay.
Just try.
is it better now?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. No, I take the cue from him and just wanted to tell you that yes, this fintech can be a support. We have seen our software is being used by IFAs, institutions, RIAs, everyone, they are using my software. But there are many section of this IFAs who come and tell us just, आप ही एक रेडीमेड पोर्टफोलियो बना के दे दीजिए, हम लोग इन्वेस्ट कर देंगे. So the point is that we can't do that. So as per SEBI, we just can't do that. We are a platform where you have to come, you have to learn research, you have to understand why you want to invest in Reliance, why you want to invest in a particular mutual fund scheme, how to build up a portfolio, how to optimize a portfolio. These are the features which are not there in India in any of the software, where you build up your portfolio and optimize the allocation. I'm just repeating this. You might be creating a portfolio of 10 stocks, 10 mutual fund schemes, and you are putting your own allocation, and you do not know whether it is optimal allocation or not. In our software, you have an optimization program where you can optimize your allocation and get your optimal result. The point is that how many want to use this kind of software? So research is very, very important. When I talk to the IFAs, I have very clear understanding and clear objective. I tell them that if your AUM is not increasing by 10 times using my software, then either you are doing some mistake or there is a mistake on my part. So your AUM has to increase. If you are diligently using my software, your AUM has to increase by 10 times. And here the fintech comes in. We will be a big support to the broking community, wealth community in India. And we want to keep on adding features so that the learning program never stops. Never stops. So we have seen people are like having so much of knowledge-seeking appetite that they don't even stop. They just keep on asking questions. And all my platform been developed by IFA's feedback from the institutions. And we are keeping on building up, keeping on taking suggestions. And I believe this is the most key important thing that the fintech is doing right now, is that we will keep on evolving and supporting the community.
So just a follow-up question on that. Just a follow-up question I want to ask is, it's not only the technology change, it's a change process as well, right? To get them to change, you can give them the best software, if they're unable to use it, it becomes very difficult. So any examples that how someone can do?
Very interesting. We have every Friday training session for IFAs, institutions, every Friday, so that it is not like we are launching and releasing new features, but we are ensuring that the training program on every Friday is on. And believe me, the kind of participation that we see in the Friday programs, amazing, and all over the country, amazing. But the point is, we need people to adapt to change. We need people to adapt to change. This is change continuously happening. We are the biggest witness of change, adapting to change. We were born in a time when there was no television. We have seen television. We have been coming up from a postcard life to an email life. Right. So we have adapted the change. So we want everyone to adapt to the change going forward. And I'm sure we will see witness the change coming in the entire community as a whole.
Mr. Sinha, I'm sure you've had the same issues in trying to get people to change from the existing frameworks.
So in our case, you can't. In our case, when you have to learn the software before you go and implement it, you can't implement and keep learning. So there is a kinetic fiction to it that if you go to market, you should know what you are doing. So that is a downtime that we have seen. Most of the people are very reluctant to change, but it's a good thing. I think change is a very good thing. If we are ready to change, then we are ready to reduce a lot of things, be it the operation cost or be it the operation cost or be it the intelligence you want to give to your clients. Yeah, change is something which we need, and it's very important to learn new things.
To adopt a change of microphones, it takes so much of time.
Mr. Ramesh, I think you've gone the other route. You've acquired a lot more of your technology in-house versus partnering with other fintechs. Is there any reason for doing that, and how has it been successful, and where have you found difficulties?
Yeah, basically we believe that whatever we want to deliver to the clients has to be
Without marketing.
Yeah, it's a unique. It has to be a unique product, and we are working on various new products also. We have taken initiative even to launch algo product for the retail investors. So far, only institutional players and certain prop desks are using it. But we want to take that product to every household in India. In the month of January, there was a paper from SEBI for participation by retail investor in algo. And the regulation should come, and we are ready for that. That was also one of the reasons, for us to acquire U-Trade, because they have the ready product available. Plus, our in-house team is helping us to address all the requirements, the ever-changing requirements and the regulatory changes, as well as to meet the challenges of developing new products. So we thought, if we have in-house company, and most of the brokers now have their own desk. See, we have traveled long on technology front, and there is more to go. During my time, even the calculator was not allowed in CA exams. We used to do calculations manually. Then the calculator came. People were comfortable with calculators. Then the computers came. People were little reluctant to change, but then they changed ultimately. So things are changing even for our market. We have come a long way in one generation from open outcry method to totally system-based trading. Even for the demat accounts, earlier it used to be physical delivery. Now, we have demats, and I think that demat will come for everything. For each and everything, there will be a demat account. Even for your LIC policy or whatever your requirement is, all assets could be dematerialized. So on technology front, we have come long way. I feel that in very simple terms, whatever you think could be converted into technology that will make your life easier, that will make your functions workable. You will be able to achieve much more than what you can think in a disciplined way, because it will eliminate all the human sentiments also. So today, whatever you think, there is capability available to convert that into programming, and ultimately that will help you make your life easier. But for the technology, do you think we could have done compliance on so many things? So these are the basic questions. The data is new fuel. Artificial intelligence, machine learning. My friend was talking about creating a portfolio. In few months or few years, we'll see a robotic kind of solution for creating unique portfolio. So things are changing, and it is changing very fast. The simple message is that we should change to the requirements. If we adopt technology, it will make our life easier. We all like to remain in our comfort zone. Whatever we are doing, we would like to be in our comfort zone. But sometimes you have to see beyond your comfort zone. थोड़ा शुरुआत में it's a learning process. Everyone will have to learn something, and at any age we are student, so we keep on learning things. Better you learn things, you will be able to adopt many things. Today, business of sabji wala is also running on phone, and things have changed the way we procure our day-to-day requirements. So there are a lot of changes that are happening, and I think technology is the only solution, and that is what I thought I'll make it in a simpler way, how effective the technology. The question is not that we don't have any options. The option is not given to us. It is for us to change. If we don't change, we perish. Thank you.
So actually, you want to know, how come, are you working with other fintechs, or are you doing everything in-house? Is there a specific reason for that? Or is it a combination of both?
See, if the product is available off the shelf, little selfish. If it is available off the shelf, then there is no unique features that is available to everyone. Whereas whatever we develop, it is unique to us, which is not available in the market. So our clienteles will get benefit of those things. We have a unique software called Techion. So that takes us for aggregation of clients, onboarding FPI, onboarding. Many brokers have joined their operations. Main broker, they have surrendered their membership and they have joined our operations. Mainly because of cost effectiveness, reduction in transaction charges, state-of-art technology, better risk management, and we will have to evolve. So today, what big tech firms are doing, they have created a platform and they have given it to the clients. That is what is going to be the future. You provide a platform at a very affordable cost. Who would have thought that taking brokerage of 20 rupees in 2009 is advisable? Many were laughing to the concept. But Zerodha came out with this concept of zero brokerage or 20 rupees brokerage. And you can see this year they reported profit of 1800 crore. See, so there is potential in everything. Technology, this scalability can be achieved very easily. And if you have unique products, as I mentioned about sometime back about algo product, I did 3-episode series on ZTV just to create awareness on the algo products for the retail investors. That will eliminate all the human sentiments. It is very difficult to square a position in losses, but Algo will do it. So there are many features, and there will be many more products coming up in future, and that is all possible only because of adoption of fintech kind of approach.
That's a very valid point. And from a fintech's perspective, how do you develop something unique for every broker and then helps them go into the market? Because it's the same product going from one broker to another, and it becomes very tough to differentiate.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of how we develop products. So when I looked at the equity universe, we basically focus on companies which are less than 1,000 crores in market cap. There's hardly any sell-side research, no research available. But there is something very important happening in all those companies, which is they have a board which is very visible. So we looked at that aspect, what kind of people are there on the boards, what has been their CVs, where did they work, who passed out in the same year that they passed out in the colleges that they went to. And we have this data map to score the board of the company to understand how reputable. See, every promoter tells a story, right? The board is the custodian of how morally correct that compass of the story is, right? So if you back the people who are telling a story in a more truthful way, the likelihood of you profiting from that story is even higher. So as an example, we apply this kind of artificial intelligence to extract the data from whatever public information is available about the board of directors, put it against the actual companies and the colleges that they went to, which year, who are the peers, which are the private companies are they part of based on MCA data and so on. So you can create this kind of system. This is just one of the things we do to screen for the companies. So you can look at, for example, tax litigation. Every listed company is required to disclose their litigation. You can go to e-courts, extract the court ruling, apply natural language processing to get the sentiment, like will this likely go in their favor or not. I mean, you don't know, but you can estimate. So these kind of, there's so much of information available. The problem is that it's just not possible to deal with it manually. It's just too much. So, for example, we talked about portfolio construction. There are more large cap mutual funds than large caps in India. So you can understand, where the portfolio construction is, because every form of shape and form of changing the weight of large cap has become a new large cap mutual fund. So constructing or creating value for end investors is giving them products, and in those products not a new wrapper but a fundamentally different way of exposure. So for example, some of the stocks that we invest in, they don't have any overlap with mutual funds or PMS or AIF, and that's because anybody trying to do this manually cannot compete, because it is impossible to deal with this universe manually. So this is the white space we are in, and hence our products are different. The question is, how do you differentiate as a broker? The point is, if you are an early adopter of new ways of generating wealth for your customers, the customers will, they are in with you to make money. So if they're making money with you for the products, they will continue to stay.
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Sinha, do you want to also answer that question? Because I think yours is a little bit more plain vanilla and a little less differentiated.
So primarily we are we are a technology provider where we are providing infrastructure. Right now we are not providing any kind of intelligence. But if you feel that automating RMS or automating your trading operation is intelligence, then yes, we are providing. So we are kind of server providers. Like AWS is providing servers, we are providing servers to everyone. But it is very tough to differentiate the services on AWS and the services on Azure and the services on GCP, how they are different. But basically they are in the same domain space, they are providing the same set of things. But kind of their uptime, their latency, their connection, their service, these are the factors that distinguish our product. So particularly talking about, I can't tell you much about, how technology can build intelligence, but yes, it's definitely an enabler, and everyone is going to need this. Without, having this kind of infrastructure or platform, scaling up things, servicing your clients better will be a tough thing.
A very interesting point I want to highlight here is that many a times we see that customer clients walk into any broker or a branch office and they come with a piece of paper telling that this is my portfolio, I have invested in this particular tech stocks. अभी क्या हालत बताओ? And इसमें रखने का कि नहीं रखने? So this is a very standard statement we see. I have seen in my last 25 years of work, and we have a very wonderful system of uploading the portfolio in 5 minutes. Where you can, so our biggest customer is DBS Bank, and there are other banks also like ES Bank and so on and so forth. But in the branches they have the RMs, they have their this platform, their PC. So what they do is that they just punch in the details of the holdings, and they immediately take a PDF report and tell us, sir, आपका ये return है, आपका current holding ये आपका जो portfolio है. So point is, here technology comes in. In our days, when I was in Industrial Bank, we never had this kind of facility of doing it, uploading it right away, and software and coming up with a report. And then आपका अभी return इतना है. So most of the time we used to tell that we will come back to this. But here again, what I am telling you is that the last mile connectivity is very, very important for any broker, advisor, community. How well I am connecting to the customer with a proper integration with whatever backend software that anybody is using. So we have an auto RTA connections in our platform where all the client details are coming in through the IFAs into my system, and I have a client's latest holdings on a daily basis. So I can take out a PDF report or a share link and I can set it to the link to the customer. Then आज का आपका ये status है. So again, technology comes in to bridge that gap. The last mile connectivity is so important now. Client is then having confidence and faith on the advisor that when my money is well taken care of. So I think this is very, very vitally important.
So, but it becomes commoditized very quickly, right? Then every broker has the same thing, and then there's no differentiator.
No, it is like, so what? So DBS handles in a different way, ES Bank handles completely different way. DBS way of handling is different. They upload their system and they do a weekly updations and then they send it accordingly. They have the different methodology in addressing the clients. ES Bank is having South Indian Bank, they're having different way. Moti also they're having different way of addressing the clients. But the point is that clients are addressed. Whichever different methods each one of them are using, clients are benefited. My point is that clients need to be benefited. If I want to grow, my clients need to be benefited first. Then only I can think of increasing my AUM.
So I'll switch to a topic that creates a lot of pain point. I think regulations has constantly been changing. The advisory was far simpler 10 years ago, and now they put a lot more restrictions on it. So how have you adopted on the regulations aspect, and how has it helped in some ways and hurt in other ways?
Yeah, so I think it was immensely challenging. I think for a person like me who thought advisory was a very simple business, you need a little bit of net worth and you can do something. The world changed for me, right? Net worth increased, compliances increased, things that I never thought I have to do. I have to do like record all the calls. So all that is very new, and it was very challenging. For example, I had to stop business for some time because there was a service circular which said that you cannot take money through payment gateways like Razorpay and all these. And no bank would give me a UPI SDK to collect money because you don't have transactions, so nahi milega. So then what do you do? Like manually you call people and say UPI se paisa bhej dijiye. You know how that difficult that is, right? So these kind of challenges happen. At the end of it, whenever there is a change, and I think the way the regulations have been carpet bombed in the last few years, it is very difficult also for existing and new businesses, more so for new businesses because they don't have the knowledge and the network of an existing business to ask around like, kya kare. So that is definitely the case. But at the end of it, I think what I realized is that markets, we are in a business which generated revenue unlike a hotel business or travel agency which just did not have revenue in the last few years. So we are lucky in a way that we were in a business that had customers and had revenue and had growth. So everything has both sides, I would say.
So, yeah, regulations are kind of pain for us as well. We have seen a lot of regulations in the past 6-7 years, and a lot of development effort, time has gone into that just to remodel the system. Although it is very important to understand that there is no way out. Means if there is a regulation, we have to do it. But what hurts me more is that sometimes we fail to understand that it क्यों किया गया है. Okay, if there is a regulation, it क्यों लाया गया है? There can be better ways to bring that regulation. Okay, just for example, call recording करना है. अरे call recording क्यों करना है? There can be much better ways to handle the legitimacy of a order entry. But कोई उस options के बारे में सोचा ही नहीं. So there are things that we had to handle, but I don't think we should always keep our pain as a part that new regulation is going to come. Okay, we will handle it.
No, I mean, I would like to comment here is that they should be in touch with Anmi, because Anmi would always know what is coming. I mean, purpose of Anmi is also to see that what is the thinking of regulator. What regulator is thinking, it doesn't come suddenly. Most of the time, things come from the feedback given by our members only. So they learn from us, and that is how they implement. So Anmi is always 2 steps ahead. If you ask me, I will give you 10 things that is going to come in next 2 years' time. So we visualize everything. We are in interaction with regulator, and we know what is coming. So be connected with us. We'll tell you in advance. You'll be better prepared.
Thank you.
No, in our case, we steered away from regulators very clearly, and we survive on putting disclaimers. So we survive only putting disclaimers. But yes, we feel very sad when we see some regulatory thing comes in and it hampers the growth of the IFS. My entire journey has been into health advisory, so I know how difficult it is to survive in this kind of situations. But anyway, adapting to change is the best methodology to survive in any going forward. So I think, so that is the only thing. Nothing more than that from my side.
So the next question I want to move to is, what's your outlook on the future of the broking industry? Do you expect fintechs to disrupt brokers out of existence, or will they coexist, or you have to change the model, right? Is it only a fintech broker? You have to have the whole 9 yards, or will you be able to coexist along with other technologies as well?
So my personal view is that execution, that money out of execution, that business model is disrupted, right? I mean, there was a time when you had a newspaper boy delivering newspaper to you every day, and he had a way to earn on a travel agency shop which would let you buy plane tickets. We all use that. We come from that generation. Or an internet cafe where you could go and surf internet. So all these businesses don't exist. So the fact that broking has been delivered to your home, it's almost like electricity now. So it is given that everybody will have access to markets. What they do in the markets is where the money is going to be made, right? And it is almost like broking. Your broking is electricity company, and you have to become the bulb manufacturer now. So you have to figure out a way that you create light at the end of the tunnel for the customer when they're coming towards you. So that is my idea of what broking is going to be. You have to give them value-added products which will eventually have the promise to generate wealth.
But do you think fintechs will coexist with them, or will they also have to become brokers? Or
So I think different models will emerge, and it's an evolving landscape. I think there will be some people who will kind of be offering products in a format which will be specific to a broker. Some people will do it as a broker. Some people will do it both as an advisor and broker for different kinds of customers. So the idea is that there are many ways you can collaborate if because ultimately the areas are very non-overlapping, right? So for example, your current customers versus what a fintech can do. Fintech is you will be fintech's customer, so they can never reach to your customers. So your customers are always yours. So what you do with them and how you help them is really how sustainable this business can be. That's my opinion.
I believe there is a lot of disruption already happened in the industry, but that doesn't take away, the unique feature or the speciality of the brokers. There is enough for everyone in the market. If you can provide good services, I don't think there is any issue. To give you a simple thing, last 2 years, I think each and every broker has prospered. It is not that few of them might have done better, but everyone has done good. And if you have capability, if you have inclination, if you have willingness, then you have some unique capability. Each and every person has a unique capability. They are connected with their clients in a big way, and their client trusts them. So it's more of trust also. If you can deliver services to your client in a seamless manner, then I don't think, of course, there could be challenges, but we can all overcome those challenges. We can turn out very well. थोड़ा सा change करना है हमको, better service देनी है. It will be all service-based business going forward. If you can satisfy your clients, they will never leave you. They will be with you always.
So yeah, Kamlesh has rightly pointed that we have already, we are witnessing the change, and we have already witnessed the change via Zerodha, Grow, and Paytm coming. So, but if you go back and see the problem solved किसने किया, ठीक है? So if you go to history and see what forced Zerodha to solve this problem, it was just the problem of tech that they solved. He was working in Reliance as a sub-broker. वहाँ पे Reliance got order management system which was very shitty, ठीक है? उनका सिस्टम क्रैश करता था, आधा घंटे के लिए सिस्टम बंद रहता था. Zerodha का पहला ऑब्जेक्टिव ही था कि क्लाइंट का टर्मिनल बंद नहीं होना चाहिए. We were very closely working with Zerodha. We saw कि शुरुआत में ऐसा होता था, but it significantly reduced going forward. तो उसका एक ही एजेंडा था कि क्लाइंट को टेक प्रोवाइड करना है, क्लाइंट बाकी सब कुछ कर लेगा. This was the thought process that originated from one of the broker. ठीक है? Grow and Paytm, they were not the thought leaders. ठीक है? They got funded, पैसा बहुत है, कर लेंगे. So they were not the thought leaders. But every broker in India, every broker, they are the thought leaders. So there is a thought process which you have to solve. आपके मन में क्या चल रहा है? What are your clients focusing on? Problem क्या face किए है? You have to solve that problem. Trust me, technology has the solution to all the problems. Fintechs are not just technology. It is a combination of broker or people and tech. So I do think that India is a very large country. 2, 4, 10, 15, 20 brokers से नहीं handle होने वाला है. We need a lot of brokers to handle some stuff.
Yeah, I second this, and wanted to add that fintech will be always an enabler, and there are two enablers. One is for direct customers and another for regular. So, but I can challenge that any customer, any client for that matter, will not have enough guts to go and take on any kind of mutual fund scheme or a stock without taking the advice of the broker. It can never happen. I told this 10 years back, I'm telling it now, and I will tell 10 years hence also, that without advice of broker, there will be very few limited customers who would take the plunge of going and investing directly without taking anybody's advice. So I strongly believe that the advisors are the pillars of bringing the clients and making them understand all the kind of broking and different kind of products available in the market and connecting with them. There is no other way of any client coming and investing. So I believe fintech will always remain as an enabler, big support to all the broking and the advisory companies.
You had Zero who's done the exact opposite, right? They give no advice and they've still got so many customers.
But there is
They solved one problem. There are a lot of problems in this market.
But Zero is a transaction platform, so they are allowing people to come and transact, and those are guys who are coming and already knowing about certain things, they are into research and they put in money, do intraday and they come out. But the point is that somebody who is investing for a long term, they will not, I think without advice, will take the plunge into any stocks and sit tight. It is very difficult for anybody, I think. Anybody who are regularly investing into the market, they just straight away cannot go to any portal and invest in a particular stock in volumes and play and sit tight. It's very difficult. You give me an example. It's very difficult. For any fund manager also. You can see Access Mutual Fund is right now going on. So it is very difficult. You just cannot take plunge. There are plenty of broking platforms. How much you can take a bet on and you can invest directly is very difficult.
So now we'll just open the floor for any Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, they feel to ask.
I have a lot of questions. I think I'll come as a side of the road. Because this is the reality. Thanks. आप कुछ बैठे आपको सवाल पूछूंगा. I think we know each other. Introduction not required. Basically, heard the complete panel. And Mr. Kamlesh Bhai, especially last 3.5 years, 4 years, but we are 4 years, sir, we are 6 months ahead of you only from that. But which I want to add one more is that both the companies came in a listing platform through SME. Please try to understand, through SME. SME route, raising the more than 15 crore is not an easy task at that time. Now it is the reality. That was the, to support that, to add to the Kamlesh Bhai. Sir, Kamlesh Bhai, everybody, now entire fraternity sitting here, entire of this, all the way to Visakhapatnam, Vijayawada, and entire, both the states.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you for coming.
Number one. Number two, every time when we attend a seminar, anywhere like the last, mine is around 35 years experience. You ask any of the expert, sir, what to do, what to buy? Only one statement. Buy at lower level, sell at higher level. Can please tell me to anybody what is the level then? Lower level, who will decide? Majumdar sir. I'm asking, I'm telling you that you certain advisors required. This is the reality.
Absolutely.
This is the reality. Who will decide the level? I have many clients. They will ask me, okay sir, buy at lower level, sell at higher level. What is the higher level then? That is the one point. Another point I am coming. Technology, yes sir. Technology, yes sir. Today we are seeing Zerodha, we are seeing upstocks, we are seeing grow, yes. Thanks to the corona. People were sitting at home. Young generation got work from home. And we got 10 crore demat accounts. It is not only our efforts, it is a time effort also. Second point now, sir. Technology change, yes, required. हिंदी में बता रहा हूँ, या तो चेंज कर लो या कर दिए जाओगे. Correct? प्रसाद से डॉक्टर साहब, either you do, otherwise you will be forced to do it. Correct? But at what cost? Today I am ready to do. But everybody knows the cost. What cost? And whose technology in few lakhs? No. It is not easy. Every time we listen last 20 years, हम भी सुन रहा है consolidation. Yes, but who will consolidate? कौन साथ आएगा? Like-minded? Yes. वो माइंड तीन महीने में खराब हो जाता है. That is the second question. Sir, you are the boss of that. Sir.
दोनों का आंसर दे दो.
ना अभी मैं दूंगा.
नहीं सब इतना सारा एक साथ में कर दोगे.
चलो आप दीजिए, पहले आप दीजिए. सर आप चालू करिए. These are the real things.
पहला क्वेश्चन आपने पूछा था कि बाई एट लो सेल एट हाई. ऐसा कुछ होता नहीं है. सी इसमें बहुत ही सिंपल एग्जांपल देता हूँ. अभी कोविड टाइम था तो मास्क लगा के घूमते थे तो हमने शेयर इंडिया का मास्क बनवाया था. I was going to Delhi from Bombay airport. तो जैसे मैं पास हो रहा था सिक्योरिटी को तो वहाँ पे जो उसका सिक्योरिटी गार्ड था वो जो स्क्रीनिंग कर रहा था उसने देखा कि शेयर इंडिया, आर यू फ्रॉम शेयर इंडिया, आर यू द ओनर ऑफ शेयर इंडिया? आई सेड आई एम डायरेक्टर ऑफ शेयर इंडिया. बोलता मैंने शेयर इंडिया किसी ने रडार पे आया था और मैंने 350 में लिया था और तब प्राइस 1200 चल रही थी. तो मैंने उसको पूछा कि तूने 350 में लिया और अभी तक तूने बेचा नहीं है. उसने बहुत ही सिंपल चीज मुझे बताई. सर जो दौड़ता घोड़ा है उसे क्यों बेचूं, जो लंगड़ा घोड़ा है उसे मैं बेचूंगा. तो सिंपल चेंज यही है इन्वेस्टर के लिए. जो चल रहा है, जो अच्छा स्टॉक है उसको मत बेचो. बेचना है तो जो लॉस में हो उसको बेचो. लॉस में एवरेज ना करो. प्रॉफिट में आप खड़े रह सकते हो. ट्रेलिंग स्टॉप लॉस भी हो सकता है. आपकी जो रिक्वायरमेंट है उसके हिसाब से आपको डिसइन्वेस्ट करना है. मार्केट लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए ऑलवेज बेटर है. सर 2002 में इंडेक्स 3600 था, 2600 था और टुडे इट इज 54,000. In 20 years, the index has given compounded yield of more than 15%. अब ये कोई कम तो नहीं है, ये डिविडेंड को छोड़ के है. तो इन्वेस्टमेंट का यही फंडा है कि आप लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए बने रहो. एंड ऑफ कोर्स कोई रिक्वायरमेंट है यू सेल. सो इट इज नेवर नो वन हैज बॉट एट लोएस्ट प्राइस एंड नो वन हैज सोल्ड एट हाईएस्ट प्राइस.
जी सर थैंक यू. आप मेरा सेकंड टेक्नोलॉजी वाले का जवाब दे दीजिए.
सर आप रिपीट कर दीजिए क्वेश्चन.
अच्छा टेक्नोलॉजी का क्या था कि एवरीबडी सेज चेंज द टेक्नोलॉजी, यू हैव टू गो अलोंग विद द टेक्नोलॉजी. माय क्वेश्चन इज एट व्हाट कॉस्ट एंड हुज कॉस्ट?
ये अगेन आई थिंक वी हैव डिस्कस्ड इनफ.
अच्छा ओके.
मेरे ख्याल से देखो
हाँ.
टेक्नोलॉजी को तो अडॉप्ट करना पड़ेगा और ऐसा जरूरी नहीं है कि एवरीवन विल स्पेंड लाइक जीरोधा.
हाँ.
You know, you can spend as per your capacity. You can develop. You can work on your strength. सबके पास यूनिक स्ट्रेंथ है, सबके पास अलग दिमाग है. एक ह्यूमन ही ऐसा है कि सारे लोग के पास अलग अलग दिमाग है और वो अपनी सोच के साथ चल सकता है. मैंने पहले ही बोला कि अपनी सोच को टेक्नोलॉजी में कन्वर्ट करो और जो आपका स्ट्रेंथ एरिया है उस पर वर्क करो. यू विल गेट रियल गुड रिजल्ट. मार्केट में बहुत अपॉर्चुनिटी है, बहुत सारे लोग के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है. देखो जीरोधा यस इट इज डूइंग वेरी वेल. कल उठ के असबा आ गया तो क्या होगा
जी.
तो देयर आर क्वेश्चंस ऑलवेज.
Yes.
सो यू हैव टू फाइंड सॉल्यूशन. यू हैव टू बी इवॉल्विंग. हमको क्रिटिकली एग्जामिन करना है हाउ वी आर फंक्शनिंग, कहां पे हम लैग कर रहे हैं, कहां पे इंप्रूवमेंट कर सकते हैं. और कंसोलिडेशन को तो मैंने इसलिए बताया कि दैट इज ऑलवेज बेनिफिशियल. थोड़ा सा ईगो छोड़ना पड़ता है.
हाँ.
हमको एक तो एक दूसरे को समझने की जरूरत है. शायद 1 साल 2 साल साथ में काम करके देखने की जरूरत है. और अगर सोच बैठती है और ईगो नहीं है, इसमें ईगो ही आता है हमेशा की ये मेरा डिसीजन है, ये तेरा डिसीजन है. दैट शुड नॉट हैपन. यू नो वहां पे भी यू शुड प्ले ऑन स्ट्रेंथ. हु हैज better knowledge about the subject, and we all are intelligent people. You know, either you convince me or I convince you. और गलती हो तो उसको तुरंत एक्सेप्ट करो, हाथ जोड़ के बोलो मेरे से गलती हुई. मार्केट भी हमको यही बोलता है गलती है हाथ जोड़ के लॉस काट लो, अगर नहीं लॉस काटोगे तो आप ही कट जाओगे. So these are the my views on the.
Thank you. I'm coming to the point. You have rightly answered. Thank you very much. My Kamlesh bhai, now you are the boss of the Anmi. Now point is, can Anmi become can make a subsidiary of any fintech or common eKYC or common back office? Is it possible?
Sir, we are not in business. We should not be in business.
Okay.
We have members who are very capable. We will provide them all the assistance, as I mentioned to you. Be in touch with Anmi. I will guide you as to what changes are coming, how we should approach, what are the practical tips. If there are issues with the regulator, वो भी हम solve करेंगे. हमारा जो भी काम है वो सारा करेंगे. हम business नहीं करेंगे.
Mera last question to Sinaji. Sinaji, nowadays we counted, generally we counting 92 brokers to surrendered, gone, that we are counting, agree. Some new भी आ रहे हैं. Correct. Then new जो आ रहे हैं, उसमें what now, for example, to set up this discount broking, for example, what is the rough to be the least cost? You take it. You have a good experience in this.
Sir, मतलब ठीक है. To be very frank, we are bit expensive, but we are not thinking in terms of the cost in terms of when we offer it to a group. So rightly said by Kamlesh sir, थोड़ा सा हमें ego कम करके दोनों parties को आगे आना पड़ेगा. So if we can work on a model where we can collaborate with other brokers, right? Like there is a group of brokers जो forget about consolidation. I'm just taking about कि a combined growth model अगर follow करते हैं, the cost can reduce, significantly.
अकेला नहीं बना सकता.
अकेले में expensive पड़ता है. So roughly our cost starts from like 30-35 lakhs annually. But इसके अलावा भी infrastructure cost होती है, compliance cost होती है, ये सब cost होती है. Infra cost भी आपको roughly करीब 15 लाख के लगभग पड़ जाती है. So if we are looking to start or revamp a business where you get a platform like Zerodha and you get a basic set of clients, like we are targeting like 2,000 clients, so this cost में आपका हो सकता है. But as you grow, आपकी infra cost increase होगी, हम लोग का support cost increase होगा, so it grows gradually. So I would say that you should have roughly like 50 lakhs in mind, जहाँ पे you can start off. But if we can, collaborate, like this is the cost that I have to put certain people to manage the infrastructure. And primarily we are infrastructure company. हम लोग कभी नहीं बोलते कि हम लोग intelligence provide करें. हम आपको एक setup दे रहे हैं. With setup, it can scale. If you want, it can scale automatically. It can automate your RMS. ठीक है. और हम लोग नया RMS टेक्निक्स भी ढूंढ रहे हैं फ्यूचर में, जो इस चीज को काफी इम्प्रूव करेगा. So all I'm telling is कि there can be a good approach if you guys can work and come together. We are more than happy to provide kind of cost which can support a large group.
So see, to be very frank, we are running both. We have. I asked for the all purpose.
Absolutely.
That those who are in mood of going off, coming thinking, what is the real? At least 50 lakhs, 1 crore can change this entire scene.
It will change a lot of things, but end of the day you have to realize you don't have to follow someone else what they are doing.
Right.
अगर कोई ज़रूरत बनने का कोशिश करे, ये अप्रोच ही गलत है.
समझ नहीं वो नहीं बनना है, किसी को नहीं बनना है. Point ये है कि how to start. Thank you very much. And सर रिसर्च का कोई डाउट नहीं है, रिसर्च सब बढ़िया है और आपका भी बहुत बढ़िया है. और कमलेश जी तो नो प्रॉब्लम सर, अभी पर्सनली बात करते हैं. थैंक यू वेरी मच.
Thank you.
फ्लोर के लिए.
So thank you very much. Thank you for all that.
Rohit, I have a Q&A.
He has a question.
Madam,
Sure.
I will take.
बोलिए.
Particularly to Biplav and Abhishek ji. Like you start off with a software which is pretty good, but with the regulatory changes and other things that come in, the growth stops. only regulatory changes comes. How are you managing and what, I understand the pain that you go through with the regulatory changes, but how do you manage that?
Uh,
So, true that, it seems like sometimes कि, ये सॉफ्टवेयर वेंडर ग्रो नहीं कर रहा है या कुछ नया नहीं प्रोवाइड कर रहा है, बट इफ यू लुक केयरफुली, अगर हर 3 महीने 4 महीने में आपका ऐप चेंज होता, तो अभी ज़ोरदा के पास या फिर किसी ब्रोकर के पास 7-8 वर्जन होते हैं आपका। तो फ्रंट एंड में चीजें उतनी चेंज नहीं होती है, बैक एंड में बहुत कुछ चेंज होते रहता है, ठीक है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी आर ब्रिंगिंग काइंड ऑफ मार्जिन कैलकुलेशन जो मार्केट मूवमेंट पे आपका मार्जिन को रन टाइम एड हॉक मार्जिन असाइन करता है, ठीक है। दिस इज अ वेरी स्मॉल चेंज जो दिखने में लगता है, बट वी डू अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स इन बैक एंड जो आपको ये फैसिलिटी प्रोवाइड करता है कि अचानक से निकल का प्राइस मूवमेंट हुआ, ऑटोमेटिकली एड हॉक मार्जिन ऐड हो जाए। तो ये छोटे छोटे चेंज जो होते हैं ना, ब्रोकर के ऑपरेशंस में बहुत मदद करते हैं, ठीक है। तो आई वुड नॉट से कि रेगुलेशंस के साथ हम लोग पिछड़ जा रहे हैं। आई वुड से कि रेगुलेशंस जितना एग्रेसिव आ रहा है, उस एग्रेसिव से हम अपने आप को चीजों को ऑटोमेट करने का सोचते हैं, रादर देन थिंकिंग कि हाँ भाई रेगुलेशन आ गया इसी को बनाते हैं हम, और अच्छा सोचते हैं कि यार कल को और 2-4 रेगुलेशन आ जाएगा तो हमारा सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिकली फिट होना चाहिए, तो हम थोड़ा बड़ा चेंज करते हैं और उसमें टाइम लग जाता है। बट हाँ, particularly talking about the front end and all that stuff, I think for the past couple of years we were very low focused on front end stuff, but I think from this year onwards काफी चीज हम लोग front end में करने वाले हैं, and yeah, you will get a lot of updates on the front end itself because काफी कुछ background में हो चुका है जो हमारे OMS RMS को बहुत ज्यादा stable कर चुका है।
So I think we'll close now, and then if there anyone can approach the panel.
At the outset,
It's on, it's on, it's on.
it's a,
Please mention
no.
name. Yeah.
My name is Murali Krishna from Quest FinSec Markets Limited. I happen to be a gold medalist in May 74 CA examination. After that, I'm a cost accountant, company secretary, LLP. With all that qualification, I find myself lost with technology. So what is happening is, I find lot of duplication. See, in fact, if you really recollect the entire story, in fact, it is the National Stock Exchange which got first digitized. If there is any fintech, the fintech concept started with National Stock Exchange. In fact, it is the entire, it is a pioneering example, and they have really built up a model, and it is working. So from there, what is happening is, there is too much of regulation, too much of thinking, and too many circulars, and too many calls from NSE. So this is the entire process. In fact, what I just want to think is, how do we avoid duplication and how do we improve self-regulation? In fact, these are the two aspects I am really exercising mind. I am very glad to meet Mr. Kamalesh Gandhi because he has that positive mindset. And the past president also, even in the COVID time, he did his best in terms of whatever kind of queries we try to pose like this. But now I feel it's time to take stock of the situation. And it is also what I feel is, now take for instance that what the cost, whose cost, at what cost. So all these are relevant questions to average businessman. See, we are not really into that kind of Zomato public issue. So we are a Paytm kind of situation. We are small brokers. We were just trying to, we have our contacts in Hyderabad. There are people who trust us, it is a trust, right? So when I have people who trust me, and what is happening is, I am not in a position to provide the kind of service compete with HDFC Security. Simple. It is not that it is. So, how do we solve this impasse? To a honest, for that, what kind of, see, like Anmi may not be in a position to, but how many brokers, how you really coordinate, and what kind of platform you make, and what is the cost thing. And the second, the other point I was trying to make is, whatever is the back-end offices and the softwares, those have to be, how to avoid the duplication and how to avoid the queries. And in the front end, anybody, so you see, my advisory, my thinking is different, his thinking is different, how I can be smarter than the other guy is my thinking. But basic tools and structures, how do we really make it available on some basis, and which will also subsidize the initial investors like Mr. Kamalesh Gandhi. Yes, he can, whatever is not technological, what is not, I think he can make it available at some reasonable price. So I think there is a possibility, and this needs a very constructive communication and dialogue among the stakeholders. That is my feeling. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. So I think we'll take it offline. It's quite late, and the panel members
Just
will be available.
two sentence I would like to reply. First is need to create a breach of trust. Unless the regulator trusts our community, things are going to be little difficult. Things will keep on changing. Now most of the regulations have already played out, so there are less chances, and we will improve upon. As I mentioned, we will see surveillance. Second thing, we are thinking of creating a cell in Anmi to reply all the compliance related queries, so that member can always refer those questions and they'll get the solution.
Thank you so much. The panel members will be available afterwards to request. Mr. Sric said we should end the closing comments.
Thank you for the panel discussion, panelists, and I request Mr. Basant Agarwal, MD of Basant Securities and Vice Chairman of our APD chapter, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone, and it's a very warm and a very good evening, everyone. It's a very warm and very graceful evening that we had, and a very delightful and a knowledgeable discussion that we did today. I would request all the panelists and Kamlesh ji to please accept the token of appreciation as a small gift on behalf of Anmi. And it is my privilege and to propose the vote of thanks to all our speakers and acknowledge the information that they have shared, the insight that they have shared with us, and thank you so much. And it was a very encouraging and a delightful event that we had. Thank you so much. And I request all the members and everyone to take a group photo.
Please come forward
with our
group photo.